Hello and welcome to Expletives Included. Today we're going to be doing another Steven Universe Rewatch podcast. We're going to be looking at episodes 41, Horror Club, and episodes 42, Winter Forecast. Okay?
Yes, we are. We're looking at these things that are definitely cartoons. Horror Club. First broadcast, February 12th, 2015. Written and storyboarded by Raven Mulsey and Paul Vilko. And directed by Ian Jones Quarterly. And we begin the episode with Lars. Being Lars.
Oh yes, with Lars. Being a
Lars.
douche to Sadie.
Because he's Lars.
Because he's Lars. But he's got new ear things.
Because it's Halloween.
Oh,
I presume.
When did you say this was released?
February, but time's weird in Beach City.
Yes.
He's got skull earplugs.
Which we see later glow in the dark.
I assume it's kind of Halloween because it's a spooky party.
I suppose you could see that, but to be honest, do you really think that Lars would wait for Halloween to do that stuff?
You mean Ronaldo?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, probably not, especially when you hang out in a spooky lighthouse. But, maybe it's just because it's nearly Halloween here and I'm kind of like, oh yes, scary movies.
Scary movies. Real old, obscure scary movies. Not these fake ones with CG, like Zombievers. Which lots of people like, but I've just got no interest in.
Well, it's a CG horror movie, who cares?
Yeah.
So, Sadie comes out.
Well, actually, no. Wait. Stephen comes out of nowhere and it's just like, "Hi, Lars. Do you want to come to the lighthouse, Lars? We can play at the lighthouse forever and ever and ever."
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Stephen has a trike too.
No, because remember when he was trying to woo Connie for the first time ever, he was "Look at my awesome bike with two wheels that I can totally ride, and I'm not just pushing around
on the sand."
On the sand,
because he's smooth.
He had funky flowing.
Yeah. So Lars inquires about this party, which is being held by the French Fryman, aka Ronaldo.
At which point he's like, "No, dude, that guy's lame. This all sounds lame. There is nothing which could make me want to go to this party with you. I'm going home."
He even calls Ronaldo social napalm.
Yes.
Which I think is a great phrase.
Because, burning flesh and just... Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean...
Wait a second.
The smell of burning napalm in the morning smells like friendship.
Okay, no, I think that's... Something really weird happened with my mic there.
Okay.
I'm not sure what.
But yes. So then Sadie comes out, it's like, "Oh, Stephen, great, let's go over to Ronaldo's."
Yeah. And then Lars is like, "Hey, yeah, Ronaldo's. I love that guy. Let's go to his place. Let's all go together. Me and Sadie. As friends."
No.
Because that is what we are.
Yeah. Also, Stephen hugs Sadie, which I think is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It's clear they've gotten closer since that episode with the videotape.
And when they had to kill I was about to say when they had to kill the invisible gem monster together.
Yeah.
But that was kind of all Sadie.
Well, they did kind of live on that island for however long.
Yeah.
I mean, that was, a couple of days, a week, a month?
Well, I think even Lars was starting to get some weird facial fuzz.
Yeah, so that's upwards of a month.
I mean, a real man can grow a beard in a matter of days, but...
A real man can just lean and squeeze it out.
Yeah. That's what I've learned by listening to The Beards, which is the band, which you should check out.
And I learned that. My fact from the Mighty Boosh.
Mighty Boosh is lame.
Well, for its time it was good.
I think I had too many drug-addled teenagers telling me that it was the greatest thing that's ever happened to the universe.
Yeah, I think that's kind of my fault. So I think I was the first person who got Mighty Boosh on DVD, and it was my copy that circulated everywhere.
No, I remember like drug-addled teenagers who weren't in our social circle.
Oh, okay.
Or weren't in your social circle.
Well, it went to Daisy, and then it went to all of her drug-addled friends.
Yeah, I'm basically, well, let's not name drop like we've just done.
Oh, there's a billion Daisies in the world. Most
Yes.
of them cows.
But there's only one our friend Ben, and he's only got the one girlfriend, so I can't say anything bad about her.
Yes, but as far as I'm aware, she's an actual, canine wolf, so you'd best worry there. Not that any of our friends actually listen to this podcast.
Nope. And I don't know. Oh, no, ignore it. Ignore me. We're going back to the episode. Let's stop this. Mighty Boosh.
Yeah.
It's for people who smoke weird and believe that it makes them imaginative.
And the real
believe
power of
it.
imagination comes from imagination.
Yes.
So, we go to the lighthouse.
And Ronaldo is dressed as the Phantom of the Opera.
Which, okay. Well, also he's got claws.
Did he have claws? I don't remember
Yeah.
that bit.
Yeah, he's like claw gloves,
Fair.
which the Phantom never did.
No.
The Phantom just had a kind of fucked up face.
Yeah.
And even then, in most versions, he's just,
just wearing a mask.
just a bit scarred. It's sort of like, you can get some concealer on that. You work in the opera.
Yeah, you basically live with makeup artists.
Yeah. I mean, sure, and, well, no, even in the Victorian era, men would cover that shit up. I mean, the pox was still a big thing. So anyway, Lars is a dick to Ronaldo.
Yeah. Because he's Lars.
Yeah. And Ronaldo's like, dude, why did you bring him?
He's like, you're friends with Lars? And Steven's all, yeah, isn't everyone friends with Lars? Doesn't everyone love Lars as much as I do?
Yeah. And so, and also it turns out that Steven's kind of the person who arranged this. Because Sadie hasn't met Ronaldo either. I mean, I guess this is officially meeting him, so she's probably seen him around town.
She's probably read his blog.
Well, it's the official blog of Beach City.
It might be the only blog of Beach City, as far as we know. Given that there are only like 10 people who live there.
It's weird that the numbers fluctuate so wildly.
Mainly when Mayor Dewey is giving a speech.
Yes. Well, with that van, you're going to attract some attention.
Mayor Dewey.
Mayor Dewey. Sorry, I think it was a great gag. Anyway, so we cut to the top of the lighthouse, which Ronaldo has kitted out in a nice fashion. Big TV, comfy sofa. That must have been a pain to get up those stairs, by the way.
Yeah, because lighthouses are big.
Well, also, have you ever tried getting something up spiral stairs?
I would imagine it would be easier than when we were at your old house and we were trying to get the giant wardrobe up the angled stairs. Because it was like you kind of go up, there's a 90-degree turn, and then just like after that there's a 90-degree turn.
Yeah.
And I think the wardrobe was actually bigger than this space that we had to fit it through.
Yep. It was probably bigger than the house, to be honest.
It was a massive wardrobe. We should probably have got like tape measurements and stuff, or just looked and realised that it wasn't going to go up there.
In fairness,
That was
neither
an
of us.
annoying few hours.
We were asked to do this, in fairness, and failed.
Yes.
And I think it was the asking us to do a thing that was the first wrong step.
Agreeing was the second.
Anyway.
But yes, anyway. Getting things upstairs is difficult. So
Yeah.
props to Ronaldo for getting the sofa up there.
Because he was on his own.
Hmm.
Unless he got his little brother to help him, I guess.
The only person who will talk to him. Apart
Or
from
his
Stephen.
dad. Or his dad, maybe.
His dad does look pretty strong.
But I don't think his dad would sort of agree with this venture. Also, Ronaldo probably like, well, no, my parents can't possibly know where I live. Secretly. Anyway, so they're watching... So Ronaldo introduces the first classic horror movie, Evil Bear 2, Barely Alive.
Yes, about zombies.
Yes, and Lars is dismissive for this stupid fake CGI bear.
Yes, but Ronaldo is insulted by this.
As any true horror fan would be.
Because this isn't like the popular...
Well, no, this isn't the cult original.
Well, it was the cult original, but it was also like the second, wasn't it?
That's the sequel, yeah. But it'd be like saying, comparing the remake of...
I hate Planet of the Apes. That Tim Burton movie just sucked so bad.
Well, no, I think there's two Dawn of the Deads, right? There's a modern one and a classic. Personally, I think the modern one sucks ass. But the original is a brilliant classic.
Yes. So it would be like getting those two mixed up.
Yes. In this scenario, I'm Ronaldo. And I feel shame.
Well, if you were Ronaldo, regardless of the situation, you should feel shame.
Yeah. And then we learn that Sadie actually knows a little bit about horror movies.
Because Lars basically knows nothing, but then Sadie's like, oh my god, the actual original? Can I look at it? Can I see the box? How did you get hold of this?
Well, the thing you need to know about old VHS horror movies is there's infinite cuts of them. Because basically back in the day, each country would have a different cut of the movie. So some countries you could get longer, more graphic cuts. So in this instance, it's where you see the evil bear eat the hermit's leg. Which
was cut out of other copies, I guess, you're implying?
Yeah, so that presumably would have been cut out of the North American release. And probably the British release, because fucking BBFC back then. There's a reason we had
those guys.
There's a reason we had the video nasties. There used to be an underground trade of these uncut versions of movies, which we don't have anymore. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it's all online these days, isn't it?
There's too much stuff out there, and I feel old.
You are old, Keir. You're like, you're in your early 20s. Jeez. How old do you want to be?
Yeah. About 8.
That was a good age.
Yeah. Maybe a bit younger. I don't know. When did I start playing video games? That was probably a good age.
When I was 3, I think, I started playing video games.
I know
maybe a bit younger. Maybe 2.
Well, I have a lot of siblings, as you know. So, obviously, being a little kid, I'd want to do what they were doing. So, what they would do is they'd just stick a controller into a drawer and say, yeah, go ahead, you're playing. Move your mic away from your computer.
Can you actually hear that?
Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, it's just going really weird.
Yeah. It's interference. Anyway,
probably too close.
So
chuck it away.
So my siblings would sort of plug me into the drawer and I'd tap away at the controller.
Did you get interference again then?
Yeah.
See, I have no idea what's causing it.
It's just electrical interference. It happens. Don't worry. And then, one day I just grabbed a live controller and boom. As good as them. So they must have sucked really bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Sadie's concerned that Stephen might not be able to handle this.
And he's like, dude, I'm a gem warrior. I've experienced things worse than this.
And then we see...
And it's like, hey, Stephen, you having a good time watching the back of the couch there?
Oh,
It's like, yeah, I'm having a great time.
in fairness, Ronaldo's like, "You sure you can see from back there?"
Yeah, he's not like worried that Stephen might be scared or anything. It's just like, you're probably not going to get a good view of the hermit's legs getting eaten if you're behind the couch.
To be honest, that would be my response. It's like, you're not in prime position for the
It's like,
south.
dude, Stephen, his legs are getting eaten. You've got to see this. How old are you again?
We don't know. I'd be like, "Look, you're really not in prime position for the surround sound, dude. You really should sit more here." So, and then the power goes out.
It does.
And then, Ronaldo's a dick.
But with hindsight, I guess it's kind of justified.
Just because he's justified, there's no reason.
Just because he's right doesn't mean he's not a douche.
Yeah, and there's no reason to ever go, "It's a ghost!"
With the flashlight upturned in your face, which never looks as good in real life as it does on cartoons.
Yeah. Also, they always sort of do it whenever they talk, they turn the flashlight onto their faces.
Mm-hmm.
You never do that.
I've tried.
Well, no, if you're trying to be creepy, you do it, but this is just them sort of turning it, yeah, and now I say a normal line type thing. So, Ronaldo goes...
Lars is like, it's dude, a fuse has gone. We just need to go and fix it. And Ronaldo is, no, dude, trust me. I know this shit. It's a ghost. That is the only logical explanation.
Yeah. And then, pulls out a pendant and whacks Lars in the face.
Well, no, he's like, give us a sign. And then it does actually start moving. It's like, is Ronaldo doing this? It's like, give us a stronger sign. And then the pendant just kind of hits Lars in the face. Like, yes, do that again. Multiple times. Just so that we can be sure that you're here.
And then as the audience were like, yeah, go ahead.
Yep. I think Ronaldo is justified. I'm not sure what beef he has with Lars, but I'm sure it's justified.
And then, stuff starts smashing and papers start whirling and they do the logical thing and run away.
Yes. Although, I think... Well, Sadie kind of takes control, kind of says, like, yeah, we need to do this, this, and this. Like, just get to the door. Come on, get out. Keep focused. And Ronaldo becomes smitten. A little bit with Sadie.
Come on, she's a woman within 5 feet of him who's not spraying him with mace. Of course he's smitten.
I know. Of the qualities that, I know I look for in a woman, the type who don't spray my face with mace, it's definitely a plus.
Proximity and non-violence.
It's like, obviously she must like me.
Yes, she is not intimidated by my fearsome odour.
By my musk.
Anyway, so, Lars and Ronaldo kind of flirt as they run down the stairs, fleeing the ghost.
Well, Ronaldo's just like, it's like, hey, after we've kind of got the civilians to safety, I'm going to come back and try and deal with this ghost. Do you want to help?
Also,
and then Lars is like, I love you, Sadie. Please don't leave me.
I'm worthless without you.
I'm nothing.
But there is a certain irony in calling Stephen a civilian.
Yes.
It's like,
Bitch, I'm a gem warrior.
He is literally stronger than anyone else there.
If only he could, Yeah.
Well, no, it's shown that Stephen has weird moments of super strength.
Which we've seen in this, I think, this episode. Does he not? I think there's like a moment where he picks someone up and chucks them out of the way. Does he like pick up Lars and... Well, he does pick up Lars like later on, but...
Yeah, and then as they get to the bottom, there's suddenly scary... scarecrows.
Yeah, there were scarecrows like before that we saw, and they've come alive and they're trying to get in.
Yeah, though aren't they on crosses?
They were, but that's just how you make scarecrows.
Okay.
they weren't being crucified, that would just be weird.
Yeah. They remind me of Children of the Corn.
That would just be weird.
What? Children of the Corn?
I'm assuming so. I haven't actually seen it, but I didn't want to seem ignorant.
Well, it's based
Dude,
on Steve...
your ignorance is showing.
It's
What? Where?
it's the direct inverse in size to your penis.
What?
I'm calling you dumb and saying you have a small dick.
Ah.
But anyway, Children of the Corn...
That is a grievous insult, Keir.
Anyway, Children of the Corn, based on a short story by Stephen King that was in the 1986, I want to say, September issue of Playboy.
Okay.
Back when Playboy used to produce short stories. I only found this out after I tried submitting to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Stephen King sent them stories all the time. That's Philip K. Dick. I'll send them one. We no longer accept short story submissions. Dang it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a pretty good story. Film isn't that good, but it's had a bajillion sequels.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's 9.
That's definitely a feel.
I mean, of the, video horror movies, it's not the worst offender. I think the worst is Warlock, which might be up to 16 at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Of course, the longest running series, or at least one of the longest running series, is Yojimbo with over 50 movies. All of them with the same actor.
Really?
Yeah, same guy.
Nice.
Anyway, so the scarecrows attack,
Mm-hmm.
and basically they just push them out the door.
Oh no, I think this is actually the scene that I remember, because at this point Stephen does kind of pick up a scarecrow, lob it at the other scarecrows, and kind of force them back, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Ronaldo realizes that it's not a ghost, it's a poltergeist.
And then he kind of gives the explanation that ghosts haunt locations, but poltergeists haunt people.
Mm-hmm.
And so this kind of poltergeist must be haunting Lars.
Because, he's emotionally disturbed.
Yes, because they're drawn to people who are emotionally disturbed. And I'm not sure if he actually means that, or whether he's just trying to dig at Lars. Both would be acceptable. But is this like an actual definition, like difference between ghosts and poltergeists?
It varies. I mean, I think this is the modern sort of movie version.
Because I remember, I think I remember from my youth hearing about poltergeists. It was just ghosts were incorporeal, but poltergeists could interact with the physical world and would often just kind of make things float, levitate, chuck things at you, be more kind of violent in their hauntings.
Well, a poltergeist is sort of defined as basically in the Victorian spiritualism. It's a vengeful spirit.
And I think in Harry Potter we had all of the ghosts, but then there was a poltergeist, Peeves.
Yeah.
Who was just a douche.
Yeah.
He was a ghost, but he was blue and a douche.
Was he blue?
I think he was blue in the video game, so I just assumed he was in... Because he only appeared in the game. He didn't appear in any of the movies.
Didn't he? Oh, that's right, because he was meant to be played by Rick Mayall.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, they had him... There's cutscenes of him in the first movie.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and it's played by Rick Mayall. And who else would you get to play Peeves?
No one else.
Yeah. Yeah, Peeves was one of those weird characters in Harry Potter. Who kind of, after the first book or so, Rowling didn't really seem to know what to do with him.
He did kind of disappear, didn't he?
Kind of like Filch, the caretaker.
Yeah.
He just kind of disappeared.
He was just there and kind of sometimes
Yeah.
moaned at people. And then it turned out that he was a...
Squib.
A squib.
That's in the second book.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So after defeating the scarecrows and revealing that Lars is emotionally disturbed and could perform a high school shooting any day now.
I don't know, I think that Ronaldo is probably closer.
He does wear a flame shirt.
And a fedora.
But I like to imagine Beach City has no guns.
We haven't seen any kind of anything like that, have we?
No. I choose to believe that whenever a shipment comes into town, the gems just destroy them.
Really? The gems destroy them?
Well, Amethyst does.
Or, well, I don't know. I find it much more likely that she would just hoard them in her room.
No, she eats them.
They-
I imagine there's many things that come into Beach City that never arrive because of Amethyst.
Possibly. But yes, and then the floor eats Sadie,
Yeah.
which totally freaks out Lars and Ronaldo. It's like, no, the only woman who might actually have sex with me.
The only woman we know who is completely out of our league.
And now she's dead because of you. And then Ronaldo tries to sacrifice Lars to his dark gods to get her back.
I'd do that to you, yeah.
I would do that to you if a lady was involved, yeah.
I'd just do that in general.
You do like your dark gods.
It's always best.
You're an atheist, you don't believe in them, but you like the camaraderie of cult-like expeditions.
I don't believe
don't
dark
believe
gods per
that
se, but I just like cults. The robes, the candles, the team spirit.
And sacrificing the weaker members is just what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, it's like you get out the candles, you do all the kind of the artistry, you draw circles, you put on like a whole production. It's great.
It's very festive.
You would love to sacrifice me for no other reason. It's just for a party, just for the shits and giggles.
Yeah, and if a Dark One is appeased and wants to send me a boon,
then that's just an added bonus.
Doesn't mean I believe in them, but I have a boon now. I don't know what a boon is.
If they give you a boon, then you have to believe in them. You can't just say, well, I sacrificed Dan, and now I can now I can see heat.
Well, then I'd have to perform a case study.
You would need to sacrifice more people just to see if you got more cool powers.
Yeah.
To be thorough.
I mean, I don't know how I'd do control, but I'd figure a way.
Well, you could just sacrifice people, but not to your dark gods.
Well, I suppose you'd have to
Unless because I don't know, because if you have already pledged your allegiance to that dark god, then you could kind of accept any sacrifice you make. Or you could argue that any sacrifice you make that wasn't to the dark gods would anger them. So
I think what you need to do is have 3 running experiments at the same time. You have the standard sacrament to the dark god, the sacrament to another dark being, and then a sacrament to the dark god that doesn't involve murder of a human. So you offer them like a traditional, I don't know, Buddhist or Hindu sacrament of food and ale. And you see which one produces the results.
So yes, Stephen prevents Lars by being eaten by this flesh-bulging, pulsating wall mouth thing.
Yes, they go into the basement to attack the spirit, and suddenly Stephen turns into Troy. I sense hurting.
I sense anger and frustration.
No, wait, that's just Riker. Because he didn't get any for like 5 seasons.
And he was the kind of guy who liked getting him some.
Yeah. It was weird. Picard got laid more often than Riker.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Admittedly, Picard did have the additional advantage of living an extra lifetime. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so we're counting like all of his children. Are we talking like X more people or just more times?
Well, let's just count people. I mean, he had his wife. I think Riker had like 3, including Troy. Data may have had more.
Well, he is fully functional and anatomically correct.
Yep. I think the only person who had less was Worf.
Worf got married as well, though.
Twice.
So that's at least 2 women, you'd have to imagine.
But, you know, Riker had 3.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
But you said, like, the only person who had less was Worf.
Well, and Chief O'Brien.
And I don't think that Dr. Wesley had any.
And Wesley certainly didn't.
He certainly didn't. Although he did go to the academy, and I think there was like that girl who had the hots for him, kind of, a little bit.
And also, for some reason, he was a flying ace. That was a terrible episode. It's a shame, because actually, Wheaton's acting in that episode was pretty good, but overall, it was a really bad episode.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we have a sort of giant flesh mouth in the basement that says Lars.
Yeah.
And basically, Ronaldo's like, well, it clearly wants Lars, so let's give it Lars.
Yeah. Before it kills the rest of us.
And
he does also say, and give Sadie back to us, but, you know.
That was kind of an afterthought.
Was it? I think it might be, like, the main thing. I think, ooh, I can kill Lars, and also I could get the girl. Actually, yeah, I see. Yeah. Afterthought. That works.
It's a win-win.
Win-win. First we kill Lars, then we acquire the women's.
But, you know, it's not just a win-win for Ronaldo. It's a win-win for society.
Indeed it is.
So anyway, Stephen has to be noble and saves Lars.
Yes. And it shows that he can still bubble. Because I don't think he's... Has he actually bubbled since he's kind of lost his healing power?
Can't remember.
Because I'm not sure if he has.
Well, he hasn't been in that many difficult scenarios.
He's been in 1 or 2 that I think... Oh, actually, no, he has. At the kindergarten, he bubbles.
Oh, yeah, because
so ignore me.
Yeah, because there's that whole betrayal of Amethyst.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I would...
Well, it's clear Pearl's going to betray the team in the end.
Really?
I think so.
Under what conditions? In what situation?
I don't know. It's just, you know, we've now... Well, we're talking in the new series. It's sort of like,
must see.
Yeah, basically we've got a 4th team member now.
Lapis. Or is
Maybe.
Peridot part of the team now?
You'll see.
Peridot was evil.
You'll see.
But
you know...
So far away.
But there's only space for 3 gems. Well, 3.5 gems in the intro. We can't have 4.5. Also, there's a new intro in the 2nd season, which was really good. There's Connie running around with a sword.
Dan approves.
What, Connie with swords?
Yes.
Yeah, you haven't even seen the Connie sword episode yet.
I haven't. Stop taunting me. Come on, let's get through this, and then I can go and watch more episodes.
Guys, a damn good episode too. Pearl is really fucked up in it.
What did I just say about stopping taunting me?
Anyway.
What did I just say about getting back to the episode?
So, Stephen proves...
What did I just say here?
I don't know.
Okay, fine. I'll stop interrupting you. You were saying.
So, Stephen proves that the best offense is a good defense. By using the bubble to defeat the mouth.
Yes. Because the mouth just tries to clamp down harder and then bubble and then the mouth explodes.
Because that's how that stuff works.
And then Sadie was behind the wall the entire time.
Sadie was the mouth the whole time.
Sadie, it was you. No, of course not. It was the gem. Of course it was the gem. Because as we kind of discerned from the Keep Beach City Weird episode...
It's always gems.
Yes, everything. So, you mean everything weird that happens in Beach City is because of us? It's like, yes. What did you think?
I mean, there are so many questions about why this gem is here.
Yeah, and why it was in the lighthouse, trapped like in the walls of the lighthouse.
Well, quite literally above the temple.
Yeah.
But, so the gem shows young Ronaldo and young Lars
forming the Adventure Club.
Yes, the Beach City Explorers Club, in their secret clubhouse that is clearly visible from any spot in the town.
Which no one must know about, because I don't know, is it kind of Lars basically saying people can't know that we're friends because they talk about you behind your back?
Mm. Yeah, isn't that how all friendships go?
No.
I have been misled.
Yes, you have.
Anyway.
And they're just kind of goofing around, and then Lars carves his name into the wall, which is kind of the gem's wooden
form.
flesh, because the gem is the lighthouse.
I should note, Lars thinks carving his name in the wall is pretty metal.
Yeah. Come on, how young are these kids, though?
Maybe Stephen's age, depending what Stephen's age is.
Yeah. But they're at school, and they're like,
Well, are they at school?
I'd imagine so, given that...
Does Beach City have a school?
Well, yeah, Connie goes to school.
She doesn't live in Beach City.
Damn it. I keep forgetting.
That's literally what the next episode's about.
Yeah.
So anyway, a plank hits Lars and Ronaldo catches it on photo with an embarrassing photo of Lars.
Yeah. So, and then Ronaldo's like, oh my god, this is amazing. We've got, like, actual proof that this place is, like, haunted, and it's like, dude, we're going to be famous, and we're going to prove that we're not crazy.
And then Lars is like, but people will know that we're...
People know that we're friends, and look at how embarrassing I look in this photo.
And then he tears it up because it's a Polaroid.
Yep. And then Ronaldo was like, dude,
No.
our proof, our evidence of the supernatural.
And then they have a falling out.
And then Ronaldo is just like, why do you care so much about what people think of you? And then Lars is like, well, you wouldn't be saying that if you knew what people say about you. And then he kind of storms off. I think that's the essence of the fight.
Yeah. So Stephen bubbles the gem. Is like, yeah, let's have no more of that. Boop.
Yep, let's go to the temple.
To the burning room.
To the burning room. Yes.
And then it's like, oh yeah. So Sadie's back.
Sadie's back, and it's like, and then, well, they kind of see the gem. They're all like that, and then Ronaldo's like, oh yeah, Sadie, you're doing okay, right? And then Lars is like, whoa, no, I care more. I was totally worried about you. We were worried about you. I mean, just me. I was the only one who was worried. I love you. Please take me back.
And then Stephen's like, let's leave these two to sort it out, you know what I'm saying? And they leave.
Yeah, I think, what is it, like Lars tries to get Sadie out of there. And then Stephen's like, no, I'm going to leave with Sadie. Because Sadie's clearly interested in me. And you two guys can get together.
Yeah,
you've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, say what you will about Sadie X Stephen. At least they're the same height.
Is there actually Sadie X Stephen stuff on your 4chan boards?
There's everyone X everyone. There's... You haven't come across the characters yet that are hideous, but...
Okay.
There's even Evil Pearl.
Evil Pearl.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
She wears a leather jacket and smokes and drinks.
You had me up until the drinking.
Rides a motorcycle.
Nice. She can drive. What was I going to say? I think I would approve of Stephen X Sadie if Stephen was older.
Or Sadie was younger.
I don't know what Sadie would be like when she was young. Well, actually, no, because old Stephen is like is incredibly tall, isn't he?
Yeah, so it'd be hilarious.
It would be. If Stephen grew up but was the same height, I think that would work. Like the actual face of older Stephen, but just like the same body.
Horrifying.
It would be hilarious. I love it. It would be great. Everyone would love it. It wouldn't give anyone nightmares.
Sadie is tiny, though.
Yes, she is very short. So I think that's the conclusion we can take from this episode. Sadie is short.
So...
Oh, and also, no, a great part where... I don't know, Lars is like, no, I'll walk you home, or it's like, I love you. Please take me back. I love you. I'm nothing. Oh, God. And then Ronaldo, of all people, is like, dude, tone it down a little bit, okay?
Which is a comeback that Lars used on him earlier.
Ah, I missed that bit earlier.
Yeah. Because Ronaldo's being all his dorky self, and Lars is like, tone it down a bit.
See, that just makes what Ronaldo said even better.
Yeah.
Which is annoying, because it's Ronaldo, and I don't want to... I do kind of like him after this episode, but I don't want to like him too much, because he's still Ronaldo.
Well, shall I sort of tell you the pairings that came out of this episode? There's two.
Let me guess. It was Ronaldo x Lars and Ronaldo x Sadie, if there was only two.
No. It's very interesting. It's a poly relationship between Ronaldo, Lars, and Sadie. But then there's a very funny one, which is Ronaldo cucking Lars.
Cucking?
To sort of... It's when a woman cheats on a man, but in modern era, it's sort of very blatantly doing so. And it's a weird thing.
So who's cheating on?
Okay, so
what?
So imagine in the comics that there's actual whole comics drawn about this. Lars is being his incredibly desperate self towards Sadie.
Yes.
And he's been going on dorky dates with her and, giving her flowers. And then they go back to Sadie's place. Ronaldo comes in and fucks Sadie, while Lars sits in the hall and listens. It's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
Cuckolding is a weird fetish.
So the male counterpart is always kind of listening, watching, there?
Not always. But somehow...
Isn't that just adultery then?
Yeah, but it's sort of semi-consensual. It's like the guy wants to have his masculine position taken away from him, I think, is the psychology behind it.
It's weird. Let's stop talking about this on the podcast.
Though I do find the poly stuff quite cute.
Because
that's basically the three of them holding hands, but Sadie's in the middle, and it's really cute.
And there is kind of poly stuff in, just like with the gems. So it's already a theme.
Is there poly stuff with the gems?
I thought it was kind of insinuate, well, because fusions, relationships, that kind of stuff.
But, two people isn't poly.
It's four people.
I
Five
suppose
if you include Rose back in the day.
I think they were just roommates.
In some kind of college roommate scenario.
It was like Friends, but with space rocks. And, in sort of, like, the grand scheme of things, like, Greg was Rose's date for a couple of episodes. But then the actress had to leave, so for some reason Greg became a recurring character.
Yeah.
And then Stephen happened. I imagine Pearl and Amethyst are kind of like Joey and Chandler.
Maybe. I don't know. It's unusual.
So episode 42.
Episode 42. Winter Forecast.
First broadcast, February 19th, 2015. Written and storyboarded by by Lamar Abrams and Helen Joe. Directed by Ian Jones Quarterly. So...
This is another Connie episode, which is very fun.
So we begin with Stephen and Connie sitting in front of a fireplace that I don't think we'd seen up till this point, roasting marshmallows.
roasting animal byproducts.
Like poop.
Not like poop, like gelatin, bone marrow, and sugar, cornstarch. Cornstarch, the most animal of animal byproducts.
Yeah, and they're just generally being goofy and cute.
Yes.
It's sickeningly adorable.
Sickeningly so. Sickeningly, I say.
Yes, I want more of it.
We need more of it, yes.
So then Connie gets the dreaded phone call from her mother.
Asking if she's seen the news because there's a blizzard coming that's going to snow them all in and she needs to come home right away.
A splizzard.
A blizzard?
That's what you said.
I meant blizzard. As in, like, the one which is actually a word.
Now I'm just imagining a giant ice lizard. There's a splizzard coming! Run for your lives! So it's just basically a blue iguana.
Just kind of waddles in. Tongue
Yeah,
waddles.
it's giant.
Run
but
away!
Iguanas aren't very good animals.
Mm.
So it's implied that Connie's father can't drive very well.
Or at least not in the snow.
Which,
It doesn't deal well with icy conditions.
I mean, we don't normally talk about this, but is that bordering on racist? It's a stereotype that Asian men are terrible drivers.
I didn't know about that stereotype.
Especially
I
Indian
can't.
men.
Say again?
Especially Indian men.
I don't know. I tend to stick with kind of what I know and just kind of stick with sexism and just kind of assume that it's women who can't drive.
No.
I'm very progressive like that.
You should go to Saudi Arabia. Women can't drive there. No, wait, 2 of them can now.
2 of them can.
Yeah.
Ah, good for Saudi Arabia. See, that's why they're on the UN equality panel or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like we have 2 whole women.
What is it that they're doing with the UN? They're like the head of human rights, was it?
Yeah, they're on the Human Rights Board.
Yeah,
And they vetoed including gay people in human rights. That's current affairs, and we're not allowed to talk about that. Have you rebooted now?
Give me a minute. Okay, yeah, right. So, well,
So basically, Stephen's like, oh man, we were having so much fun being cute and adorable.
and now we're not going to get to watch the blizzard together.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
No, I thought I was back. I still need a minute. Wow.
So anyway, Garnet comes home.
Garnet comes home?
Yeah.
Oh, do all of the gems come back?
Yeah, but Garnet comes in first.
Okay.
And they're all like,
So what you doing? Being adorable?
I approve.
Yes.
And they're just like, yeah, we approve. Continue being adorable. We'll keep on watching. And, Stephen protests, but Garnet's like, you should get her home, and gives him a kiss on the head.
And then he laughs and like, that tickles. In
Because
an adorable fashion.
Yeah. Also, the kiss sparkles.
Yes. Hinting at something.
Yes, but what could it mean?
Oh yes, and also we're reminded that at this moment the Garnet has future vision.
Yes.
Because
she predicts that there's a definite chance of snow.
Yes, because the kids are like, it's like, it might... Forecasts are sometimes wrong, it's... The blizzard might completely miss us. And then Garnet's like, no, it's definitely coming.
Yeah, that there is no other option.
There is a 100% chance of snow. And
So
it's like she's got future vision. She knows what happens. I mean, isn't it great that they just remind us of these random things which totally don't show up in the episode later on?
So So Stephen
they head out to...
First Stephen shows her a couple of things, including a tube video.
No, he's going to. I think that's before he gets the kiss on the forehead.
Mm. But
it's only a minute and a half long.
Yeah, but they go to Greg, and there's a lot of snow, and they really need to get going. But Stephen's like, "But you can't go looking like that. I mean, look at you."
The Maheshwarans think you're a responsible adult. You can't go around in a cherry jumper. Look, what? This is a great jumper. It's like, I'm a cherry man. I totally see your point. I'm going to go change.
And it's just sort of like, that's his only good shirt, and I can relate to that.
Mm-hmm. No, he's got his other good shirt. And
yeah, the one from the disco era.
No, the one from... Because he changes into a new shirt, which is his good shirt.
Oh yeah, and that's what.
And then Stephen's like, "No, that's the one you wore when we first met the Maheshwarans. You can't wear that. They'll think you only have one nice shirt." To which Greg replies, "It's like, I do only have one nice shirt.
What am I doing with my life?
Living out of a van, running my own business."
So, on one hand, you own your own business. On the other, you live in a van.
That's why we have two hands.
But so then. Greg keeps changing shirts, and Connie and Stephen goof around playing in the snow.
Yes, we see a montage of their snowman building and their snowball fights.
And then we get to the disco outfit.
Which Stephen approves.
He calls it the best outfit he has ever seen.
Connie stays silent throughout this.
It should be noted, Stephen is a fashion-conscious young man.
He is. He always wears the exact same shirt because he knows that it's fashionable.
Well, that's how I roll.
He always wear that one singular Rammstein t-shirt and the black jeans, and that is all.
Yeah, can't actually remove them anymore. So they go off, and the van rolls in a patch of ice.
They lose control, and then they crash into a chunk of ice.
And Greg's like, "Well, we best get walking."
And so they get out and start walking. Or do they? Yes,
they do.
They do. Yeah.
And, the Maheshwarans just aren't.
They're not impressed by the fact that Greg force-marched their child through a blizzard. For God knows how long.
To be fair, depending on where he was on the road, it could have been the sensible option. Because if they were sort of stuck in the middle of nowhere, but you don't know how long the blizzard's going to go on. But then we see the other option in a moment.
Or do we?
We do.
Yes, we do.
Because the Maheshwarans are just like, "Greg, you are the worst.
Greg, you are the worst. We'll sort out the couch.
Because you don't even deserve it.
You don't deserve it, but we'll do it anyway, because
we're better humans than you.
We are better than you." Yes.
And then Stephen begins to see blue patterns on the back of Greg's jacket.
Yeah.
And then we're back at...
even.
Then we're back at the crash. So... This time, they change their decision and stay in the van.
Because it would be safer, and the Maheshwarans are all about safety.
Which is weird. But, whatever.
Is it weird? Like wanting to be safe?
Well, no, but to be all about safety.
They're not all about safety, they just like safety.
But Connie describes that her parents are all about safety.
Yeah, but it's just a thing that they say.
Okay. So anyway, now
it would be like saying, "Oh yeah, I'm all about anime," but anime is just a small selection of my interests.
It's a fairly large portion of the pie chart.
Well, yeah, but it's not the entire pie chart.
Probably a good 65%.
Yeah, but still, I'm just saying
you're
that it's hyperbolous.
You're mostly about anime.
Just carry on Stephen convinces...
No, we're missing an important bit. Then it turns out we learn that Connie is a weeb.
A weeb?
Mm.
Oh, yes, because she says... She
She
says the thing.
Yeah. She says the thing that we cannot say that we used to know because we are weebs.
Yes. And I used to watch Naruto, in which it's kind of mentioned 10 times every episode.
Because he's constantly eating.
He is never not eating.
Itaki...
And I can say it. I know what the word is.
Yeah.
It's not coming out of my mouth.
I even say it.
My tongue is weird. I say it all the time as well.
I say it unintentionally before I eat.
That's how much of weebs we are.
Yeah.
But for some reason... I'm blaming it on the time.
Yeah. Do you even do the thing where you say to Daima when you come home?
No, I don't. I don't do that.
I do.
You watch
That's
more
it.
slice of life anime than I do.
Yeah. I'm weird. Also, I don't come home that often, so it's not that big a deal.
Mm.
But it's just like, Connie just, says that randomly.
Well, no, you told me to shush because something else comes first. No. Stephen convinces Greg that walking through a blizzard would be irresponsible and it would be much safer to stay in the van.
Mm.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh, okay.
And that happens before they start eating.
Mm. Yes, and Stephen describes it as camping, but with cosy bucket seats.
No, Connie says that it's with cosy bucket seats.
Does she? I forget.
I'm fairly sure she does.
I don't know, I skipped through this episode.
Anyway, then Connie's parents kind of call up. She explains that she's going to be camping in the car, but they're not listening. Her father's already kind of driving on his way. And then we kind of see that he can't... It's not a racial stereotype. He actually can't drive in the snow.
Mm.
And he crashes into Greg.
Yeah.
And I think he says something like, no, I'll be fine this time. As if it has happened before.
Yeah. And then...
So, yeah, it's not a racial thing, it's a Mr. Maheshwaran thing.
Well, I think we need another Indian gentleman who's perfectly good at driving to dispel it properly. Mr. Maheshwaran's brother Bob.
Yeah, just because artificially putting in a race so that you can have him as the counterpart to another person of that race isn't racist.
Not at all.
Not at all. It's like you are here for no reason other than the fact that because of your race.
Well, we haven't actually got into Connie's family.
Yes, but they're kind of necessary not because it's like, hey, we need racial diversity, let's put some people who aren't Caucasian in. It's like, Connie needs parents. Let's put her parents in.
No, I mean, it'd be interesting to get into Connie's family because she's the primary love interest.
Mm.
Well, cute interest.
Yes.
So
yes, they kind of stay in the van. They get crashed into by Mr. Maheshwaran.
And then it goes back earlier in the day.
Yes, this time in front... They've just started talking to Greg. Stephen freaks out. It's at this point that it was at this point, the first time we're here, that I started to realise that this is like that artist who we don't like. Because Greg looks funny, and then Stephen has like the weird eyes and the weird face, and it's just...
Helen Joe.
Helen Joe.
Yeah.
Damn it, Helen Joe.
Yeah.
Stop ruining the things I love.
Specifically Connie.
Connie doesn't actually look that bad, I don't think, in this art style.
She's fine.
She's fine, yeah.
So, basically, Stephen's like, what's going on?
Yeah, Stephen freaks out.
He has
we're going back through time. Stephen does a Stephen.
Though, to be fair, he has got reason to fear time travel. He did watch himself die.
A few hundred times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he grabs Mr. Universe's keys, chucks them into the ice. It's like, dude, what did you do that for? And then grabs Connie's hands like, we're running away together. It's like, okay.
It's like, well, we've done this before.
It worked so well last time.
And then Connie gets a call from her mother.
And then Stephen grabs her and is like, no time to talk. Bad things. Many bad things. Don't let your husband drive. He can't drive in the snow.
No time for love, Dr. Jones. Throws the phone into the snow.
Which Connie is dismayed.
Yeah. I mean, phones are expensive.
Yeah.
And then we see the weird bit of the episode.
the bit with the star gem?
With the shooting star.
Why is this the weird bit?
Well, you know, in this version, everyone dies.
Yeah. I suppose.
You know,
You
and
can
also,
actually see that, well, yeah.
I mean,
It's not stated, it's just heavily implied.
they explode.
Heavily implied. Bubble.
So
Garnet.
maybe Stephen and Connie survive this.
And Garnet is Garnet.
She's not invincible.
Yeah, I know.
She's just mostly invincible.
It's not all dead, just mostly dead.
You know,
Mostly dead means partly alive.
let's be fair, Garnet is OP.
Yeah.
But
When the story calls for it.
pretty much all the time.
Mm.
So,
It's all that training she did in the with her animal friends.
yeah. So basically, the gems are going to fire the shooting star thingy into the galaxy warp
And
To-
blow it
to-
up.
forever.
Mm-hmm.
And Steven's like, what you doing?
And then Pearl's like, Stephen, you can't be here. And breaks the circle of concentration, which makes the shooting star explode.
So it was all Pearl's fault.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing her betrayal.
I don't know. I'm just trying to fuck with you at this point.
Mm.
Then it turns out it was all a dream. And Garnet is still kissing Stephen.
Mm-hmm. For the past, 10 minutes.
It wasn't weird at all.
Not at all.
Well, you know, when you're two lesbians in a trench coat, nothing's weird.
Everything's weird, but nothing is weirder.
Fair enough, yeah. And also,
I
so
know.
basically, Garnet explains that she passed her ability on to him.
Which is just a thing that gems can do now.
Well, that Garnet can do.
Because she's OP.
Garnet is OP, please nerf.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she has literally 3 elemental powers.
3 elemental powers?
Yeah. She has complete control over fire, ice, and lightning.
Does she?
Yes.
She can survive lava. She can deflect lightning. What was the other element? Ice.
Ice.
When does she do ice?
Ice, baby. It's coming up in the future.
Okay.
So basically, Stephen's like, right, we have to go this instant. Everything will be terrible otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Do the right thing, because Future Vision told me to.
It's like, yeah, don't be responsible. Use Future Vision.
To make an informed decision. It's somewhat responsible.
Yeah.
He was shown the folly of being irresponsible and kind of decided otherwise.
Of course, those other timelines still exist.
Well, no, because I don't think they do. I think that the way that Future Vision was described, Garnet basically says there are lots of possible outcomes. Not there are lots of timelines which all happen in kind of simultaneously.
So you're saying that the Steven universe, the universe doesn't operate under string theory?
No.
Okay.
It operates on one kind of single timeline that's, until you actually live through it, is malleable.
I see. So they get there in time with no hazards. Everything is kosher. And the Mahesh Warrens are like, nice job, Greg. You're a stand-up guy.
A nice jumper. I like the cherries.
I'm a cherry man, too. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Now, how'd you like to sleep on the couch?
So, ooh, a couch. Casa del Maheshwaran.
It's just like, that's better than the van I live in.
Yeah.
And so, Greg's, and he's sleeping on the couch. Stephen's on the couch looking out the window.
He's awake. And then Connie comes down. Says nothing. Stephen looks at her. She says nothing. He says nothing. She comes and sits down. They look at the window.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen doesn't move throughout all of this.
Well, he turns his head.
Slightly.
But, they're watching the snow together.
Yeah, but... Because Stephen isn't, like, sitting up. He's just kind of lying down, and that's an awkward angle, and it just seems weird. There's only... It just feels kind of awkward to me, and there's only one kind of rational explanation that I can think that's kind of happening here, but it also I don't think fits with continuity.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that Stephen is naked. He's sleeping naked.
Well, he didn't bring any pyjamas.
He didn't, no. But, I don't know, it's just like, Connie comes down, it's like, we're going to watch this together, and then Stephen is just like, he's not, well, this is what they're thinking. And then Stephen thinks, oh shit, I'm naked. Don't move. And then she kind of comes down and sits next to him and is like, don't move. Because he's naked. He can't do anything. He's immobilized by awkwardness.
Stephen has absolutely no problem being naked. Think back to Frybo.
This is true, but that wasn't in front of Connie.
Yeah, it was in front of Petey.
Who is a boy who he's not crushing on.
Well, depends who you ask, but
No, come on, man. There is not Stephen X Petey.
Yeah, there is.
Oh my god.
There's even Ronaldo
I
X
bet
Petey.
it's from... They're brothers!
Mm.
And they are not compatible.
Yeah.
I bet this was on Tumblr, wasn't it?
No, it was on Co.
That came from Tumblr.
Well, there's actually interesting cross-pollination because a lot of the popular Tumblr artists come over to Co for drawing requests. Because Co's normally the first people to have the episode. So there's kind of like a good relationship there.
That just sounds weird. Like, to have a good relationship between Co and...
Well, to be fair, Steven Universe is known as Tumblr the Show.
Yeah.
Whereas Rick and Morty is known as Reddit the Show.
I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah. So for our next podcast series...
It's like, Keir, we gotta talk about Rick and Morty.
Why are you Rick in this situation?
Because he's much more fun to voice.
Yeah, that's true. Because, to be honest, if you'd be anyone, you'd be the husband.
Harsh, Keir. Harsh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that's worse than Morty or not.
At least Morty goes on adventures.
This is true.
Though actually, I really liked him in the last episode.
Was that the Purging episode?
The one where they're having couples therapy.
No, that's not the most recent episode. You haven't seen the one where they have the Purge.
Which is the Purge?
The Purge was the film where, like, all crime has been eradicated, or, like, most of it has, because one night a year, all crime's illegal, and they just kind of flush it out of their system.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one night which is just murder,
I
thievery.
haven't seen that episode yet. I'll have to watch
Yeah,
that.
it's been out for a couple of days. Go check it out. It's very good.
Yeah, I've been dealing with computer troubles the last couple of days, so
This is true.
I haven't been in a position to enjoy fine cartoon programming. So yeah,
what's your explanation of this awkward snow watching scene?
Well, I think it's awkwardly posed, and as we know, our least favourite storyboard artist is involved.
Yes.
But I think the scene itself, in terms of writing, is actually pretty good. It's a nice quiet moment between two friends who are maybe becoming more than that.
Yeah, I don't know, I just think it was quite weird.
Mm-hmm. It's weirdly posed. But you do have to remember, earlier in the episode, Stephen did say that he wanted to watch the snow with Connie.
He did, and if one of them, like, smiled, maybe, or if Stephen got out of bed and, like, sat next to her and they just watched the snow, rather than Connie stare weirdly and Stephen not move.
It's a weirdly posed scene, but I like the intention behind it.
Mm.
I've just sent you some fan art about the aftermath of this episode.
Mm-hmm. Which I will check later.
Because Dan's computer's terrible.
Yes. It's not terrible, it just overheats if I do kind of too many things.
Yes, if you...
The microphone picks up the fans.
It is like the roaring wings of death.
Yeah.
But
sometimes.
Yeah. So, overall, I think this was a decent episode.
Yeah, I kind of like both of them, actually. I think you said that Forecast was, or Winter Forecast was the much better episode. But I don't know, I quite enjoyed seeing Lars get hurt.
Yeah, that's always a plus. Also, looking back at the transcript, because this is the first time I looked over the transcript of the Horror Club, it's actually a very tightly written episode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's very little loose and baggy space in the episode, which is nice to see. I mean, it's just a nice piece of technical writing. I think Winter Forecast is a good episode because it's also basically a redoing of the Future Vision episode.
Yes, I much prefer this kind of incarnation of Future Vision.
Mm.
It's kind of more stereotypical, but I still kind of prefer it. I do really like... Well, I like that... Well, it's like Stephen experiencing it for the first time, even though, as we've said, he has had the whole time travel thing before. But kind of, it's being explained... We're being shown it.
Yeah.
We're not being told about it. Which is always nice.
There's no info dumping, which that's what the previous episode pretty much was. And also the reactions seemed more within scope.
Yeah.
I mean...
It didn't have Stephen saying, every action I take leads me closer and closer to the inevitable doom of death.
Which, while a funny line, and I would totally understand a writer wanting to do something with that line, but
it's not Stephen.
No.
Stephen is like, I've seen bad things, several bad things, we need to stop them.
Yeah, and also, Stephen's seen himself die. That is a literal thing that happened in this show.
Yes.
Let's keep that in perspective. You know, this boy's going to have some PTSD when this is all done. But yeah, you know, I think Horror Club just falls flat because it's Ronaldo and Lars and they're just not enjoyable characters.
They are both quite... Yeah.
I can totally see why they need to be in the series.
It was kind of Sadie heavy as well, and Sadie's always good.
And the bits in the episode with Sadie are pretty damn good.
Mm.
You know, she shows herself to be competent and intelligent.
And kind and caring.
Yeah. Also, though, her interaction with Stephen in this episode is a bit weird.
Really?
I don't know, it's sort of... It's in a weird transitional stage, I'd say, where they're becoming closer friends.
Hmm.
But...
I don't know, I think it's kind of a... The way I see it is almost kind of like a faux sibling relationship.
Hmm. Though she did seem a bit shocked at that hug at the beginning.
Did she?
I thought so.
Hmm.
But
Maybe. I don't know.
But then again, you know, I imagine Stephen hugs people out of the blue all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just random people on the street. Hey, Mayor Dewey, hug.
I don't think he's ever hugged Mayor Dewey.
Really?
Successfully.
Yeah, he does have bodyguards.
Mm-hmm. He may have tried. No, I don't think that's happened.
Actually, we've got a Mayor Dewey episode coming up.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, what are we looking at next week, Keir?
I will bring that up in a moment.
Do I have any other final thoughts on the episodes? It was kind of weird, yeah, with this gem where, I don't know, I would assume it's kind of similar to the whole Lapis enchanting the mirror. That we've got this lighthouse being enchanted by the other gem, but the fact that it kind of went quiet for so long, and then, I don't know, it just kind of seems... Seems unusual that it would kind of possess a lighthouse and not do anything else.
It's a weird episode. It's a bit weird gem for that.
It's a weird gem. Do we see the gem again, or...?
Not
Probably
as far
not.
as I'm aware.
Nah.
So-
We don't see gems returning all that often.
Well, other than
Anything else?
Centipedal.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, not very much.
Hmm.
That was kind of the focus of the episode. It was weird.
I hope Centipedal comes back again.
Me too. Maybe he's a human or something.
Well,
Like
yeah.
a gem. Like a proper gem.
Yeah, we do briefly see a humanoid form.
Hmm.
Right, do you want to know next week's episodes?
I'm just trying to think if I've got anything else to say about Winter Forecast. Nah, I'm just excited about seeing Connie the Sword Fighter.
Okay.
Whatever it was called. So carry on. What are we watching next week?
Okay, next week we're watching Maximum Capacity. While cleaning out Greg's storage unit, Greg and Amethyst are reunited with their favourite sitcom, Little Butler.
Oh yeah, that's something that I was interested in watching because it's Greg and gems and history and stuff.
Then we have Marvel Madness. Stephen and the Gems encounter another droid from space.
But not space. That's where the evil gems are from.
And the regular Gems.
Shh. So Stephen and who find it, sorry?
Stephen and the Crystal Gems.
Ah, all of them.
Mm,
So Pearl's going to freak out again.
all of them are. Stuff from space.
Yeah, but Pearl seems to be the worst.
Because she's Pearl.
Mm.
Because she is the worst.
Shut up, she's the best.
Mhm.
But only because Sadie isn't a gem.
We'll see how you react next
We'll
season.
Why does Sadie become a gem? Or does Pearl just get awful?
Little bit.
Don't go silent on me after I say that.
Little bit.
A little bit.
There's an emotional conflict involving Pearl.
Mhm.
That, if you read into it, gets quite dark.
Okay. But not till season 2.
No, that's a season 2 conflict.
Ah. Whatevs. Right. Did you have anything else to say? Anything you wanted to discuss? Any themes? Any things?
Nope, just I'm really liking where season 2 is right now.
But we can't talk about that because I am ignorant.
Yes. But also he hasn't seen season 2.
That's what I said. Don't... Shut up, Keir.
I have the power to twist all your words.
Yes, and you do.
So, good night.
Yeah, good night all. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you again next week with another episode of our Steven Universe Rewatch podcast. Goodbye.
Goodbye.